So, thank you all. Let me tell you a bit about Buynomics. So, we are an enterprise SaaS company out of Cologne in Germany. And we help large companies, mainly in the consumer goods and telco space, with their revenue management decisions. So this means having a holistic approach and having real-time insights with a very high level of accuracy, and first and foremost being more profitable. Because what it's all about, revenue management, is hitting revenue, profit, and margin targets. So we're lucky enough to have some of the biggest companies in the consumer goods and telco industry as our customers. And as just discussed, we also started out with the big enterprises. So our first consumer goods company customer was Danone, and we really built the product together with them, and then we always are basically in the land and expand motion. So we typically win 1, 2, 3 European countries with those companies, and then we are moving towards a global rollout or the US. So I think to understand what we are doing, it is very important to understand the problem at a very fundamental level. So, and this here is a example from consumer goods, a water example, but it basically doesn't matter. So everyone who sells products to a customer, end customer, has the same, basically, 3 problems. So which products should I offer? What should be on the shelf? What should be the price of those products? And which promotions should I run on them? So if you're operating a lemonade stand, or you're Coca-Cola, or you are a SaaS company, so basically everyone, or I guess the majority of you who has a SaaS offer, thinks about, okay, I have my pricing page, and on my pricing page I have my good, better, best offer. And then I have to decide, okay, which modules or features are in my good offer, which ones are in my better offer, which ones are in my best offer, how do I price them, where do I put the red frame around the offer and say this is best value for money or customer's choice. So I think obviously those questions are very important, so they have huge impact, top and bottom line, if you make them better or worse. So for large companies, these are easily tens of millions of euros in more or less profit, but they're also extremely difficult to answer. So it is very difficult to answer. So it's very difficult to answer, should you increase your price by 10 or 20% or not at all? So why don't you do it? Why don't you just increase your price by 20%? So it would be very nice, so you have much more profit. Perhaps you turn profitable, you extend your runway. But the problem is, of course, that you don't know what your customers will do. The key problem behind a decision like, should I introduce a new product, or should I increase the price, or should I change a promotion, is always, how would my customers react if I would make this decision? How would my customers react if I introduce a new product? So how many customers would buy this product, and where would they come from? Would they stop buying one of my other products, perhaps a higher margin product? So I need to understand how customers react. And this is the very, very basic problem behind all revenue management questions. And it's solved very poorly. So I spent a lot of time in consulting before, sitting in conference rooms with really senior people. And very often the decision is, well, I also don't know, but potentially, I guess, we will lose 5%. Or it feels like this is a price elasticity of -1. But it's a very complex problem, and a lot of money is at stake. But I mean, large companies or anyone thinking about that is not stupid, right? So they do it that way because it's so notoriously difficult to predict customer behavior, and this is the core of what Buynomics does. So Buynomics is as much a scientific method to predict customer behavior as it is a SaaS platform which allows our clients to interact with those insights and make better decisions. So let me show you what we do. So we invented a technology we call virtual customers, which of course is a marketing term, but it pretty precisely describes what happens. So we take data our customers typically always have. So we take historical transactional data, so what has been sold, in which units, for which price, over time. We prepare this data in an automatic way, and then we train a statistical model of customer behavior. And what comes out of this statistical model of customer behavior is millions or tens of millions of virtual personas, and each virtual persona, a virtual customer, has preferences for product attributes. So let's stay in the soft drink example. So each virtual persona knows how much he or she likes Coke versus Pepsi versus private label, how much they like full sugar versus zero sugar versus diet, how much they care about glass, plastic, how strong they react to promotions, how strong they react to price points. Do 99 cents more look like €1 to them or more like 90 cents? So all of those differences. And then you can show those virtual customers different variations of your offer. So you say you start out and you say, okay, what would happen if I would introduce a new bottle size? What would happen if I introduce a new flavor? What would happen if I increase my price, if I change my promotion? What happens if the competition delists the product, etc., etc.? And since all of this in the end is only matrix multiplication, you can show them literally hundreds of thousands of options within seconds. I mean, you cannot, because you cannot click that fast, but of course our algorithm can. So you can let the algorithm test really myriads of offer options in very short time and understand with very high precision how customers would react if that would be the case. And then, of course, we built a SaaS platform on top of this technology. Again, at the very bottom of what we do, at the very core, we are delivering transparency. So we don't, basically, virtual customers don't care. They just say what is happening. But it's, of course, interesting to use them in different use cases. So there are dedicated ways to do pricing, your portfolio optimization, trade terms, a huge topic in retail, promotions, all of those topics. You can create scenarios, you can run optimization based on restrictions you had before, etc., etc. A lot of our customers also are interested in the impact for production, because obviously when you want to know how much do I want to produce this week, you need to know how much do I expect to sell in 6 weeks' time, and I have that in that promotion. Very flexible, so it considers spillover over time. So for example, if you have a promotion this week, people will stock up, they will buy less next week, etc., etc. Again, unmatched precision, and this is, of course, massively profitable. And I think the most important thing, I think it's a bit nerdy, but I always show it because we're so proud of that, is the precision that we have. So you see on the left side, the data set we typically train our model on. So the bars is the real sales data, the line is what we train them on. And on the right is the precision that we have. And keep in mind, so the y-axis scales, right? So it's not a tiny bit, it starts with 0. So you have products that shift multiple X week by week, and there are 50 more products, right? So how much does the Pepsi 1 bottle change in volume when the Coke 1 bottle is in promotion, etc.? This is a huge effect that we have, and we match them with really, on a level never seen before. And this is Buynomics. Thanks a lot.